All right, welcome to the Insta Runners Roundup podcast. My name is Bob Burrow, better known to some of you as the Kilsyth Runner, and today I'm joined by Jase, the Edinburgh Runner.
Hello.
Got your name there. Woody, that confused me the other day as well. Couldn't think who Woody was. Today's episode is slightly different. We had scheduled to do a talk about races, but life got in the way, and as you can see, it's hard to get everyone on the pod. So we decided to just get on with it. Get me and Jay sat down and have a catch up to see what we've been doing since the
original lineup as well.
It was with that farce of an episode that was going to be a 10-minute test and on for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
But, we'll try and keep this one a bit more structured, so we say.
I think we're a bit more experienced now, shall we say, so I think it'll be good for this one.
So, last we seen you, it was when you hobbled off injured and I shouted something motivating to you. What happened since then?
Since then, we have had a few more x-rays and it's still a wee bit mangled, my collarbone, but we have since run my fastest 5k since April. I think 21:32. I managed to get down to parkrun, which I'm happy with. Me sitting kind of steady at about 30k a week. Ticking over for, it was the men's 10k was kind of the main race I was aiming for, which is in, I think, 2 weeks on Sunday coming up. So that has now shifted, and that I'm doing Cardiff Half Marathon and the Waterleith Marathon, which we'll come on to a bit later on. But it's just been good to get back to some level of consistency and feeling like my legs are my own. They just felt so strange running for quite a period of time. Just the breathing, the rhythm, even my arms and my legs going at the same time. It just didn't feel right until maybe about 2 weeks ago. So it's slowly but surely coming back. Wee bit pace coming back. It's feeling a bit easier when I'm running now. And just tonight I started off my marathon plan for the Waterleith Half. That's in 11 weeks. So it's an absolute perfect kind of time to start a training plan for it, and we'll see how we go on that. But we'll probably touch on the Waterleith Half a wee bit later on, kind of more detail, if that's all right. Yeah. What about yourself?
No, I'm going to stay on you because since you've been injured, you've been jumping about and I'm doing this race and I'm doing that race and no, I'm not doing that race now. And I'm sure you were doing the Great North Run next week at one point, which is a race which is I've always wanted to do, but the logistics of it just seem an absolute nightmare.
So what happened is I was offered a bib. I took the bib, and the more I thought about the fact that I was in the green pen, which is, I think it's 2 hours roughly that you're expected to be coming in at. I just thought that was one, maybe a bit too far to travel to do that when I probably do want to run a bit quicker. Also last year I ended up in the pink pen, and I found that it was a bit dangerous with the pace I was trying to run. I'm not meaning this badly or big-headed about me being fast or anything. There was people that were kind of doing run walking and having somebody that's a bit quicker than I'm coming up behind them. I felt like that wasn't very good for me or them. And just considering everything, along with the train strikes that had been initially put on, they've since now actually put a timetable on for the races. And the train was £66 return from Edinburgh. It was just getting to a stage where I was, spending money, gels, etc. You're probably talking about a £200 weekend or £200 day, or a race that I wasn't going to be able to run my own race. So I sold the bib, got that back. Obviously, sorry to anybody who doesn't think you should be selling bibs, etc. But that's where we are. I've got a place for the Cardiff Half Marathon. So I have just basically sold the GNR place, booked my tickets for my flights for Cardiff. So me and Danny May, we're going down the 2nd of October, I think it is. It's the same day as the Glasgow Edinburgh that we fly down, and the races on the Sunday. And I'm in my proper, pen that should be in and things like that. So I want to try and give that a good week go. I've obviously got, I think, 3 weeks of training left to do that. Obviously won't be anywhere near PB shape for that, but if I was to get a sub 140, I think I'd be over the moon, given everything that's went on since April. So yeah,
I'm sure when we last talked on the pod, obviously stepped off at the sunset.
Yep.
At the half.
Sensibly
Because you were concentrating on the Glasgow to Edinburgh.
At that time, yeah, it was still the intention to do that, and then obviously that was my first K&D race back, and I didn't actually realise how quick from breaking my collarbone to blast was. I think it was actually only 3 weeks or something, which is stupid. Now in hindsight, when I think about it, it was only when I went back to work and had my return to work meeting, they said to me I'd only been off for 21 working days, and it was the Saturday before I went back to work that I ran the blast after 4 weeks, which is silly given the fact that we're now 12 weeks to 9, it's not still fully healed. So that was a mistake, but it was something that probably I needed to do to keep my mind sane, I think, at the time, because I just felt like nothing was going right at the point, and I don't know if I wanted to prove a point to myself or anybody else that I could still do it, but it is what it is now, and it's I can run now without any discomfort. I don't even notice it anymore when I'm running, really. So we're obviously past the worst of it now. Glasgow, Edinburgh has obviously been, it was sensible and not to do that either, because I wouldn't have been anywhere near, you see the runs that like Dale, AB, John Hughes. John done a 63k run at the weekend. I think the longest run I've done is 18k since the 21k I managed a BMF.
Yeah.
So we're no in there, but obviously I've not tried to do any long runs because I was on a plan for the men's 10 originally, which I've just cancelled kind of today. So I'm obviously I've done well on that plan. I've done most of the sessions, all the speed sessions and stuff, but I've realised it's my base that I need to get back focusing on, and the marathon in 11 weeks is giving me a good chance to do that with the plan that I started today. It's majority of it's easy runs for the first period, and then start mixing up a wee bit further down the line. So I think that's what I need. I think that's sensible. And I think for me personally, in terms of finishing the year with a successful marathon, not a PB in any way, shape or form, I'm not looking to go for time. I just want to finish it and enjoy it and come away with it feeling strong, injury free. That is the absolute goal. So I'm going in it with no pressure, I think, hopefully. And hopefully get a good run and a bit of luck with injuries in 11 weeks. And I think we'll be stepping into 2025 in a good place to have a good crack at it. So here's hoping, fingers crossed.
But no, I agree with your reasons for not going down to Great North. I think you can catch time. See, I always tell people don't bob and weave at the start of races, like if it's a marathon, because you can waste so much energy doing those wee bursts. So I see people running on grasses and up verges and all sorts of stuff at the start of races. In a marathon, you can just be patient, and you can generally, unless it's like London or something where the crowd never seems to go down. But in a 10k, half marathon, 5k, you need to be in your pace group, I think, to start to have any chance in your goal time.
Last year it took me till I was trying to bob and weave for 10k, I think it was, or 11k, and at the point I think I seen Big Al. I thought I'm sure it was like 11k, and at that point I just went, you know what, I'm not even going to be bothering. I was trying to go for a PB in the pink zone. It was silly. Realised that I just enjoyed the second half of the race, and it's a brilliant race. To be fair, it's my fault. I was actually offered a charity place by Marie Curie, and I've got the fundraiser from when I was going to do Glasgow, Edinburgh before obviously the two injuries, which they were going to be happy for me to transfer over, and I completely forgot to pay the 30 quid. So I could have been in my own pen and using that fundraiser to obviously meet the fundraising targets for that. But I'm going to keep in touch with the guys at Marie Curie. I emailed one of them at the start of the week. As soon as the 2025 places for JNR come up, I think I'm going to try and get in with Marie Curie for a place there. So it's kind of guaranteed, and I can make sure I'm going to be in my right pen.
Yeah. It still came quite early after injury as well. I think the marathon you're training for, you've got built a nice base gradually, and now you've got like 11 weeks now to build on.
I mean, the speed stuff's still feeling easier than the fast fives or whatever, or even the track sessions or the interval sessions I've been down at Cramond. They're actually feeling easier than the long runs at the moment. I think that's just maybe more so I think I'd mentioned this, like my HRV overnight and my resting heart rate and stuff, they are starting to just come down now, and that's obviously been from my body recovering from the stressy, the fractures and stuff like that. So everything just seems to be falling back into place a bit now in terms of even feeling like I wanted on before I was doing it just to kind of tick over, make sure I wasn't putting on too much weight and things like that. But now it feels like I'm actually, every single run, I'm feeling like it's a little bit easier, or I can push myself a little bit more. And then the park runs, when I'm, trying to push it at the 5Ks, I'm getting a wee bit quicker every week it feels. So, definitely on the right track now. Hopefully can stay injury free. I had a wee niggle in my hip last week, but just a couple of days rest, that was fine. And I just need to probably maintain going to the physio a wee bit with my hammy, because I still do get the odd niggle on that, but I think that's going to be more so managing how I up the mileage, more than it being an issue, long term. I think if I just be sensible with it and do a bit, rehab, bit of strength work on it. The plan that I've went in has got strength work for my legs as well, so I need to make sure I'm hitting these things as well. And then we should be there. The target on the plan's 345, so like my PB is 332, so it's nowhere near what my PB is. But I think 345 is a realistic target for where I'm at, and want to be over the moon with getting it, to be honest. Especially after the EMF and everything that kind of came after that, though. A crap 3 months. 4 months maybe since EMF, so it'd be good to get a wee bit something to shout about at the end.
That's a cool game. We put in months of training just to have a chance of everything going right on the day. That's what to sign up for. But obviously with injuries, it gets harder as you get older. As you are get older, yeah. And it was celebrated at the weekend there with a park run with the press club.
My 39th birthday. Few cheeky buggers suggesting I was 40 already or older. But it was good. I think there was maybe about 15 years or something like that. Couple of wee gifts given to me. It was lovely. A couple of cards. Stayed for a wee chat afterwards, and the conditions were absolutely magical up at Oriam. I think Jim Boyle has somehow managed to secure the weather gods on his side for every single tourism that he's organised, because every single one of them has been absolutely glorious. But like that, it was a good wee day. Great wee day to be spend it, considering how I've spent my birthday in previous years. It was definitely a more wholesome event than my usual plan, shall we say. So it was good. Really enjoyed that. Grateful for everybody that came and everybody that wished me a happy birthday.
That looked a great day.
It was good.
So me from Blast, I had a PB. I'm trying to think what happened. Well, it was kind of kicking on from Edinburgh. Edinburgh didn't go to plan, and I missed the PB by 2 seconds. And then I think I continued the Edinburgh carb load all the way up to Blast Sunset, which I turned up, must have been about, I don't know, about 8 pounds heavier than I was for Edinburgh. Managed the PB, but then kept carb loading through my holiday, got COVID. COVID this time got me quite bad, to be fair. I thought I would just give it a week and then I'd be right back into it, but I was doing interval sessions and I couldn't even hit marathon pace for like 800 meters, that kind of thing. It was really bad. It gave me a bit of a fright, but slowly starting to get back into it now. I have had one race at the Canal Canter, organised by Springburn Harriers. That was good. That was at Bishop Briggs Sports Centre. It was a kind of out and back on the canal.
How did you get on with that one?
It was a funny one because you don't know what your fitness is. So I was like, there's no point in me looking at my watch or thinking I should be running this pace or that pace. So I just started, got behind some people and thought, right, this is okay. And then it was that way. I was thinking, is it too comfortable? But you're kind of trying to, am I confident enough in my fitness that I should now start passing people? And if I pass this person and I can't hold it, do I want that person then passing me? So it was mind games the whole way along.
So that one, it wasn't a normal distance, was it? It was like an in-between.
A 9K, which I don't know why it's not a 10K. It could probably easily just be another, it's on the canal, you can just go another kilometre. But no, it was good. I felt strong without proper blowing up. And then get a bit more confident in the way back to just get past people, stop tucking in. be brave and just go. What's the worst thing that happens? That you blow up a wee bit and the guy passes you again, you just puck in again.
Especially if you're on the canal as well. If you do blow up, you can obviously reset your pace to suit. So it's not like you're, got a bit of an incline or a decline that you can look forward to, or, if you're on the canal, you can easily reset your pace and realise that you're going a bit too quick and, like heart rate drop and whatnot. But 9K is just such a random distance to them.
So I was feeling good on the way out, and then when I turned round the corner, I realised why I was feeling good when the headwind then hit me. But it wasn't too bad. Sometimes if it's not too bad a headwind, I think it can make you run a bit stronger. You kind of focus a wee bit.
Aye. Probably your perceived effort's probably higher as well because you think you've got the headwind, so you probably do push it a bit more. Or I feel I tend to try and probably focus a lot more on my form when I'm running a headwind, and so that's obviously going to carry better. Because obviously you can be a bit lazy if you've got a tailwind, I think. So that's something I always try and.
I'm quite a sweaty guy as well, so anything that can kill me down a wee bit is a bonus. So what have I got coming up? I have got Cumbernauld 10K. That's in 2 weeks. And then, but again, not sure where my fitness is. It'd probably be a lot better if I could cut some weight. I don't know what I'm doing with my food and that just now. I think it's because I'm not training properly. I'm kind of half-arsed in my training, I think.
Am I right in saying that Cumbernauld 10K is the same day as men's 10 and the women's 10? Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
I get you, Collins.
Yes, I'm sure we've talked about this. Yeah. That because you come to do this, you come to do that, and we're both.
Because I think I'd seen actually somebody was mentioning on a group on Facebook. Somebody started a local running club up for me, West Edinburgh Runners, I think it's called. And they didn't actually realise that my mate Jamie had put up a post up saying, there's a men's 10 race on Sunday. Sorry, ladies. And I actually had to jump on and say, the women's race is like immediately after it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I think the men's one's at 9:30, and then the women's one starts at 11, I want to say. And then everybody finishes in Murrayfield Stadium. So if anybody is listening and you're female and you want to be raced, there is a 10K, as much as it's actually being pushed as the men's 10 is the main one, it seems to be. There is a women's 10K after it, but I think the women are actually allowed in the men's race, but the men aren't allowed in the women's race.
Yeah, I've noticed that before in the Glasgow one. I'm still not sure why they don't just throw the two of them together.
I don't know if they try and keep it so maybe it feels more inclusive for the women, or maybe if you start a race. I know sometimes the conversations I've had, they could maybe feel a bit no safer, because obviously it's a middle of a race, but more comfortable maybe. Racing with other ladies. But I think I seen a few in the men's last year, a few of the girls, but they were the quicker runners. They were in there. But generally, I mean, both races last year, and I think I've done it the last 2 years. It's really well organised, and you're finishing within Murrayfield Stadium. And I think I've spoken on the podcast a few times about races that finish in Murrayfield Stadium. It's a brilliant experience for everybody. Getting that kind of roar of the crowd, and if you've got family or whatever in the crowd and they're cheering on you and stuff like that. When you come in that stadium, it's a 70,000 seater stadium. It's huge. There's not many races that you can get that experience finishing there, and I think it seems to be busier for when the women come in, because obviously you've got everybody that's finished the men's race. So when the women come in, it's absolutely stacked in the crowd. And it is a lot louder, it seems, as well. So it's a brilliant experience. And
that sounds similar to, I've been asked to be an ambassador for the Kilometre. I keep going to say that in a million different ways. Kilometre, which is another random distance of 13.1 kilometres.
Aye, it's the Kilometre is good, but it's not as stacked number wise as them, because obviously it's two races coming in effectively at the same time. But you're a lucky man with the Kilometre ambassadorship. I would have bit their hand off to take that, because it's not cheap for a 13k race, and it's one that I would do every single year. It finishes on my doorstep, and the route's brilliant. Slightly up all the way, but really enjoyable, and it's a good tester actually.
That's one, but that's a long way away. That'll be in the middle of next spring's marathon block. I'll be
Aye.
using that one.
I think that was round about at the same time as 20 along the 4th. I think it's the week before. It's a couple of weeks before, a couple of weeks after. I can't remember. Start of April. I think that's middle of March. I think it's middle of March, and Columbus start of April. Might be wrong. It's around about the same time anyway, mate, because I done it both in the lead up to EMF.
As long as it's not the same weekend. Otherwise, I might be handling.
No, definitely not the same weekend.
Because 20 on the 4th is not to be missed. That's a
Nah, definitely not. Definitely.
fantastic race.
I would take 20 on the 4th, especially given that it's closer to, well, it's within the marathon box for Manchester for me. It would be 20 on the 4th. It would take, be done well in advance of going to Dinkelmarathon again. 20 on the 4th is brilliant. I love it.
Mm-hmm. I just like as well that it's so hard to pace as well, so you need to start trusting on your fuel as well. But this feels like a good pace for running.
Well, Kilomathon, the 13.
No, the 20 on the
20.
So up and down.
I blew up early. I remember coming across the bridge and feeling absolutely over the moon. Like, I think, but it was a week after I'd done an ultra. I'm sure it was. It was a week after I'd done Glenorgle. No, John Muir Way. And for the first 20 odd K, I felt absolutely magnificent. And then it's just fell. I think my last few K were like 7-minute kilometres. And I think I went through 20K in something like 1:38. So it was quite fast, but that's what it is. But nah, it's a brilliant race. Love it.
But it was my goal race for the autumn is the Glasgow half, or the Great Scottish Run, as they call it. I don't know if I'm saying it's not my goal now, because I know I'm not fit enough to really perform, so it's going to just be go out and do a strong effort. But after that, I want to go for that sub 25K before the year's out.
Are you seeing anywhere for that, or are you just going to pick a park run 1 week? And
well, ideally, I would do it the Blast, the Tuesday lunchtime in December.
Oh, aye.
17th. But it's the time of year I might just be like try to get fit and then pick a good weather window.
Do you not think with the Blast 5K, like I think if you can comfortably run under 20 minutes there, go and do it. Like, if you're frequently getting under 20 minutes, but I think a 5K PB attempt sub 20 there on a Tuesday lunchtime with the traffic there could be a recipe for getting a bit.
That's where my PB's there, my 20 minutes 10 seconds, and
you need to come.
I almost hit with a delivery with the Deliveroo guy.
You need to come down to Cramond and do park run there on a Saturday. That's if you pick a week in advance and you look at the weather and you see that it's minimal wind, that's, if you're fit, that's your place, because there's always enough of a crowd up the first maybe 50 to 100 spaces, the finishing places, that you will get pulled along by somebody and get your sub 20. And if whoever knows, if that's kind of November, December time, I could potentially be back in that shape. I'd hope to be roughly about that, so we could potentially try and get back to that sub 20 together. That would be a good one, because then after Blast, we're going to Tilly 10K, and I want to get a good Tilly 10K this year as well, so 29th of December.
Yes. No, that was one. Because I was booked in for that last year and then I was ill or something.
Yeah.
Just this time of year. So this time of year last year, I ended up going in for an operation to get a lump removed from my head, and then still turned up at races like the week after with half my head hanging open. It's just
I remember that.
We're really stupid at sometimes, when we don't let ourselves rest.
I think it's the fear it's obviously FOMO, fear of missing out, or you feel that you've done the work so you deserve to take a chance at it. And then it becomes then even more of a bit of it minces your head a bit, because you then failed, or you feel you failed even though you're probably not ready for it. But that Tilly 10K is on a Sunday this year. There's been a bit of a nightmare for me trying to get time off work for it the last couple of years, and childcare. But this year I've obviously no work on a Sunday and no childcare issues to contend with, so I'll be getting that one done. Really love it, actually. It's one of my favourite races. In fact, probably in Parway 20 along the 4th, I would say the one I look forward to the most around that time of year, because it's brilliant.
That's an out and back as well, isn't it? Or is it an out and loop?
You go out and then you do a K loop effectively, and then you come back onto yourself on the same route. It's just a psychopath. They sell it as flat, but it's not. You do definitely feel on the way out that that's a steady incline. But nah, it's good. It's good fun. But talking about steady inclines, that the Waterleith half. Obviously, anybody that signed up for the half, you start in Balerno. If nobody knows where Balerno is, it's in the Pentlands, effectively the Pentland Hills. That's where you start. Near one of the reservoirs, and it's a 200-metre drop over the course of 21.1k to the basin in Leith Docks. So it is quite fast. It's just all been repaved, a lot of the path all the way down. So it's no one for trail shoes. You'll get away with your road shoes. You try your race shoes. So the only thing is there is a couple of road crossings which Blast have no real control over. I think they put a volunteer there and try and help by pressing the athletes and stuff. So if you're dead set on getting a PB, then if it's going to be marginal, you might struggle. But if you're obviously in good shape, that you've done a half marathon pretty well, and you're in a lot far, then it's definitely one that you can build up a good gap on your previous times on the way down. But I've made don't know if it's wise or unwise decision to do the marathon, which will start at Leith, head up to the Pentlands, so up 200 metres in the first 21.1, and then back down on myself for the second half, which hopefully my legs would prefer that, I think. Obviously doing the uphill on fresher legs. So that sold out in 20 minutes a day, would you believe?
Yeah, that's often. It's funny that marathon, I thought it was going to be the other way. I'm sure we talked this before. I said I'd hate to bomb down that hill and then about turn, that would just destroy you.
I wouldn't have done it. If it had been that way around, I wouldn't have done it. It would have been, I don't think my legs would have coped with that. By the time I got down the bottom, I would have been absolutely no chance of me going up the top.
So is the timings of it then? Are you just going to come in at the back?
So
the half marathon runners, or
so what the way it was done last year anyway, I'm assuming she's going to do it the same way again. Now, when you put in your time, your estimated time, the slower runners, I don't know what the right term we're meant to say this, I sometimes feel bad, they will start first, and they think they maybe get like a half an hour gap or 45 minutes on the faster runners, the fastest runners. So effectively the way it worked last year, I was down at the finish line, and what you get is everybody coming in about a 20-minute gap each other. So it's good if you go at the start to support, you can get down the bottom and you will see everybody coming in. So it's, I'm assuming that the Cats maybe got some kind of cut off with the City of Edinburgh Council or the landowner where the race finishes to say, everybody needs to be cleaned up and packed up. So I'll start down there at 8:30 in Leith. So say rough time for me getting a half marathon up there, maximum I would say 2 hours, given the incline and current fitness. So that'll take me to about 10:30. So that's when I think nearly everybody else starts. So between 10 and 10:30. So theoretically, I should then have a group to run down with. There's only 25 marathon spaces. So we'll get up there, and then theoretically I should have a group to kind of, go down with, which hopefully should make life a lot easier on the way there. If I think Danny's doing it, AB's doing it, and I'm assuming there'll be loads of other people that will come out the woodwork and say they've got a place for it. But so it should be good. I'm looking forward to it again. I've never had a bad experience at a Blast event. I know we bang on about it, but they're obviously local. They're good to us. Got us the giveaway entries for the Dalmeny half as well. So obviously we'll support them. They've got the Scottish Mile coming up actually next week as well. I'm still considering having a wee go at that, just a wee blast, just to see what I could do at that, and again just be part of the event, because I've not done an event since Sunset, which is a wee while ago now. So yeah, still just having a look at that and kind of try to see if it's something that's sensible or not.
Yeah, I've been trying to get doing more events, because I think when you start leaving your events and not doing as many, when you do turn up for something, it can it starts feeling a bit more than what it should be.
it's that I think I'm missing the kind of the sense of achievement after you get for races, or like you've worked hard for X amount of weeks, and that's the fruits of it. And then even like seeing everybody like it, like sunset, like I left there, I was on a wee high for a couple of days because you seen everybody and had a wee catch up and whatever. Even I didn't finish the race, but I wasn't too bothered about that. I was more bothered about the fact that I'd seen everybody and we'd had a good time and things like that. So I'm looking forward to. I've got Menstein, then Cardiff 2 weeks after that. If I'd done the Scottish Mile, that'd be like 3 races in the space of 4 weeks. So it's an option because I don't think it's too dear either. I think it's like £8 or something for the mile race, and it should be. I think I read that you go whatever the direction the wind's going that day, you go with a tailwind, so it would be a fast one regardless.
Actually, that's just point to point. You're not turning about. You're just going straight.
Straight. It's done at Cramond as well, where they do the Scottish 5K Championships and the Edinburgh Park Run, and it's absolutely rapid down there. It's flat.
It's no fast talk about there. That.
Yeah, I think there's two separate races though. There's the elites. So the elites is anything I want to say under a 5 minute mile, and then open is anything over a 5 minute mile. I think my mile PB is just under 6 minutes. Which I've been anywhere near that now, obviously. But it'd be good to see how far away I'm to that. Probably a wee line in the sand. But obviously I might be doing a bit more base work now, but it would be good just to have a wee blast. I enjoy running fast, or try to run fast. So
it's a funny one because it's not something you would normally train for, or like if you were to train for the mile, you could probably get not super fast, but you could make a dent in it. But there's guys would do like 5Ks, 10Ks, which is it's endurance compared to like a mile race.
Yeah, well, you see the guys that are hitting out 14, 15 minute 5Ks. I don't know what that relates to in a mile, but that's obviously must be stupid times that they're doing that. But I'll decide about that one next week, I think, and see, because I think there's race entries on the day as well down there for that one, so I can effectively look at the weather, see what's happening with my legs that day, and make the choice on that, and it'll be a good wee one to get done if I do go.
That'll be good. You talk about race buzz and stuff. I was at park run at Drumpelli at the weekend. I'd not usually one to go park run, I must admit.
What were you doing at park run, Bob?
At running, Jase.
Why did you go to park run, Bob?
So I had been sent some shoes. I'm not really the place. I've been sent some Brooks shoes by Brooks and sports shoes to wear and see what I thought. So rather than just do the whole take them out the box unboxing on Instagram and say, wow, these are amazing, the best shoes I've ever seen in my life, I thought I'd wear them all week for my runs, whether it was easier runs, sessions, that kind of thing. Turns out they are just a kind of daily trainer. When I was trying to run fast at park run, I felt like I was working. I was kind of really wishing I had on some sort of lightweight plated shoe, but that's not what they're for. They're kind of daily plodders. But they're good, but it's something different.
Is it something that is potentially going to bring anything else to you, or is it a kind of one-off?
Well, probably going to be a one-off, because I was meant to do like a big park run video of me in the shoes and stuff like that, but because I had so many of my club turn up, I just patched that and decided to go and video them celebrating their first 5Ks and cheering them on. That was giving me much more of a buzz.
I wouldn't do them, right, because you put a lot of work into them. So
all the free trainers in the world, I would rather just be supporting the guys. I mean, you can't buy that. Do you know what I mean? It's fantastic. You just get such a buzz out of that.
What was that a lot of their first park runs as well, or?
A few of them, the first park runs. Some of them have just been doing track for a while. So it was good to see them having stronger efforts on their 5K and things like that.
What was their opinions of park run? Were they loving it, or?
Everyone was buzzing. It was that way. The thing that I don't know if I've talked about this before, about how you've got people that support you in your running. I don't remember anyone asking anyone else what time they ran. Everyone's like, oh, did you have a good time? Yeah, that was great. Oh, brilliant. Oh, well done you. And it was, oh, let's go and get a picture. And everyone was just buzzing in the sunshine. I don't know anyone's time what they ran.
That's what I think the good thing about parkrun is, and pardon me, I think to try and explain it to anybody who hasn't done one, and I try and say to like people in work and stuff that ask me, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I've signed up for this race. Would have you got anything you would suggest? Obviously, I'm going to parkrun because you're going to get the experience of running in groups of people, and I've never had a bad experience at parkrun. Anybody being, aggressive or being out of order or anything like that. It's always I love it. I know you didn't do many, and I try and get to as many as I can. But I think especially for starting out, I think it's a massive tool for people to see the side of running that you can get with the races. Obviously, that's the next step when you're actually paying to go and do races and get medals, traveling about the stuff. But great gateway.
Because we do our track sessions on a Saturday morning a lot of time at clashes, but I was saying to them that we could maybe even do like once a month for every month we go, and they were talking about going to all different ones over the place. I'm kind of limited because of Saturday morning track, and then I need to go and get my daughter to dancing and all these kind of things, so I can't really travel too far. But
the good thing with that, if you're going to do it every month, is that gives them, they've got that as a measure of progress as well, as much as, their Strava or their actual fitness. If they are going and doing that every month, that's how I progressed when I started running, was going to parkrun every week and using that as effectively my race every week to see, where I was. It's like when you played football, you trained 2-3 times a week, whatever it was, and you had your game. Parkrun's effectively my game every week. And that's the way that I look at it, that, what I get something at the end of it, and I know there's conversations about, I need to run fast, zone 2, train this, train that. But that's the way, I think that's probably the best analogy that I can give, that because my mind still has football in the back of it, that Saturday's game time. And that's the way it'll always be, I think, for me.
Because I'd meant to have done this as a tempo run. So on my plan, I had like a 5k tempo, so I was meant to be running it at like 7:45-minute miles. And I told Laura, who was running with for the club, I was like, right, we'll just do 7:45s, right, no bother. And as soon as it was 3, 2, 1, go, the 7:45s were out the window. I was pushing too hard. I kind of slowed down through each kilometre, but it was good just to go, just push. That 5k push where this is my limit. This is what I'm at, and finding out where the fitness is. And it's been a while.
I was saying this to Danny. Danny May, sorry. Danny's come on leaps and bounds in the last, what was it, September, last 9 months. He's been, using runner. Danny admittedly put on a lot of weight, and he's got off now, but he still doesn't trust his legs for the faster stuff. And I remember him being about maybe, I think we done the run right 5k last year. I think it was about 28 minutes or something. He's got that down to 23, I think, in a year. And that still is one thing, is he's too scared. Not too scared. He's a bit scared to still open his legs up and go full out in terms of effort. And that's what parkrun's obviously, good for, that you can get that understanding of, right, every single week you can push it a wee bit further, see, how your legs are going to cope with stuff. Just a wee shout out to him, by the way, he done the big half in London yesterday. I think he got a PB by 25 seconds or something. I think it was 27 degrees heat. So big shout out to him. He's doing really well. Done his first marathon this year, and he's signed up with me today, Manchester next year.
Very good. The 5k is, remember my PB, it's a total different feeling to, although I was running hard and at my limits. At the weekend there, when I done the PB, it was like you're red lining, you just need to go for the full time and hang in. There wasn't really any tactics. There were some people say you can start slow and build into it. I just felt for the 5k I had to go from the start.
Well,
hang in.
That Scottish Champs race that I got my PB. That's my first 2k were absolutely ridiculous. For like, I think they're like the two fastest Ks I've ever ran. Yeah. Like, and I ran them in the first 2k at 5k, and the last 400 meters of that race, oh my god, that was just hanging on. I could see the clock like say like 300-400 meters away, and But that was running with a really fast crowd, so that kind of carried me for the first 2K. But there's so many different variables in a 5K in terms of wind, is it any uphill, any decline. You can't say anything. You could try and be do a conservative first 3K and then your legs could be cooked and you can't pick anything up for the last 2K. So it's on the day, I think.
Aye, because although the Meadows is quite flat, but see when you're all out 5K pace, any incline you feel like bloody Mount Everest you're coming up. You feel like it's totally taking your pace away.
And you have to weave all there, I think, because the potential traffic of even the runners in the race and the delivery guys, Just Eat guys, pedestrians, because obviously there's a cycle lane and just a public lane for walking, and the public walking lane people would be where you're running. Yep. So if it was me, I wouldn't be attempting a 5K PB there at any stage. I think I would just go down to Strathy or Cramond.
Strathy's a good shout, especially they do Pacers weeks and stuff like that.
Aye. I think as well, you know enough people in there that can run sub 20 fairly comfortably that you'd be able to, they would help you for a week and kind of see you over the line or take you to 4K or whatever, and they would definitely get you on pace and get you in there. So I don't think you should concern yourself too much about that. If you get the fitness up for it, I think it'd be there for the taking for you because you've got multiple choices for where you could go and do it.
I just need to get consistency and shed a bit of timber. I know a lot of folks say, your weight doesn't really matter too much for running, but it does.
Of course it does.
Absolutely.
Of course it does. It impacts your recovery on your legs because obviously you've got force going through your legs. You try and run at the wind at 91 kilo, by the way. It's not nice. It's easy going down hills, but trust me, it's anybody I can see going, carry a 20 kilo weight. But see if you put like a vest on, if somebody goes and puts a 10 kilo or 20 kilo vest on, we'll see how hard it is on running and how much your heart rate is impacted by that.
That's 20 kilo weight vest there, but I don't really need it now. I don't know if my knees would crumble.
Nah, I'm hoping the higher mileage is going to get the last bit off me. I've got maybe 5 kilo to lose before I'm kind of back to where I'm comfortable. Running longer, 25, 30k runs. I think at this rate still now it would maybe be tougher than it should be or needs to be, and potentially impact recovery for the future runs on it. So
yeah,
but that'll just, for me, that just comes with the consistency like you're saying, and probably then better choices because I'm being more consistent with, better choices with my eating because I'm being consistent with my miles, more calories burnt, whatever.
It goes hand in hand. You do make better choices when you're training well. And then when you're eating well, you end up training better as well, and it's just getting there. Just need a good few weeks under your belt, and then it starts all clicking in again.
So what's your next month looking like? What's your plan for this?
So what's this month is Cumbernauld 10K. And I think I'll use that as a benchmark or a guide of what I'll do for the half in Glasgow. So I hate going in blind into races with no idea. I know people see you've got a race field, but I like to have a gauge of where my time should be and what paces I should be running at on your current fitness. But I don't know, Cumbernauld 10K, open sub 45. It's still a long way off my PB and things like that, but I think that's my fitness is just now.
Well, are you on a current plan for the half? Is that what you're on now?
Yes, so I'm
that
fortunate enough to work in my runner again, so I'm using their app for the training. And as a child that I am, I keep chopping and changing. I got it as like brilliant. I went, right, I want the elite plan. I wanted extra miles, and I put my 5K time down as something that I would like to do, not what I'm currently doing. And then I wondered why I was miles off it the first week. And I'm like, right, let's behave yourself. Let's be realistic. That's how you make these things work for you. You can't lie to them. You need to be realistic and honest with yourself.
Runner as well will they change the paces according to what you're hitting on your actual plan anyway, don't they? They kind of rejig them to suit if your fitness is looking above where they expected it to be or anything like that.
Yeah, I've got a new AI tool. The last I used it, and so it tells you right, Bob, behave yourself. Let's dial it back.
Have you only got, is that all you've got booked, Cumbernauld before Great Scottish?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's it. Cumbernauld, and then Scottish half, and then that's me. I want to focus on the 5K stuff, and then
You've not been Newton 10K shift in November, I think that is.
it's a Saturday.
I suppose you've got a lot of commitments already that you can't really. You're letting down maybe 20 odd people potentially.
Yeah.
If you go and do it.
2 sessions in the morning, and then I've got the wings, bands, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's just don't know how I get time to do it.
I'm just I've obviously got, as I say, men's 10 booked, Cardiff booked, and then that Waterleith. I don't know if I'll be doing Newton 10K. I've got Georgia that weekend. And it's just sometimes a bit much asking people to watch or for me to go and run for 40 minutes. There'll be plenty of races next year, so I might just go through and watch and support and take her with me and get some pizza in after. That'll be me. But now I'm looking forward to getting back to the higher mileage, getting races done. Not getting PBs. I don't think I'm in any PB shape at the moment for anything, but I just want to roll into 2025 being within touch and distance of getting back to where I was, and I'll be over the moon with that.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. If I can start 25 with some sort of relatable fitness to what I was finishing Edinburgh this year, because it looks like I'm going to be doing Edinburgh again next year, which I know we said that I wouldn't do it, but see with the timings and stuff, I'm like, there's nothing else I can do. There's no other races about. What's going on? So yeah,
I think
Edinburgh.
I think if I was going to do it, it'd be the half and the half only. I don't think I'd go near that marathon again for a wee while.
I just want another marathon. I'm booked for Manchester, but it's the same day as London, and I cocked up.
Have you booked did you book for Manchester?
Yes.
I can't remember.
Tell you so I booked.
I remember you booked for London.
So I booked digs for Manchester, refundable, cancel for free, that kind of stuff. And then I thought I was doing the same for London, but I cocked up my booking.
Oh, right, I remember this. I didn't realise you'd booked for Manchester. You booked the actual marathon.
Yeah, so aye. So I need to share Manchester because I have to go to London now. So I'll be in London for the day of the marathon because I want.
Surely somebody would buy your a com off you for London.
Like I've told the family, it's a big treat. I'm taking them down to see London. Not that I just cocked up the booking.
Are you going to run London?
If I get a bib. I don't know. I have to start. My wife told me Saturday night. My wife dug me. She said, "You know what? You've now got a skill that you can turn any conversation into running."
I think we're all like that now, we know.
So I'm trying so hard now not to mention running in the house. That must have been bad for it.
It's a personality, mate. That is literally a personality now. Like I'm the exact same. People walk past my desk at work and they've never run in their life, and I end up talking about running. I was on a work Teams call on last Thursday, and somebody started talking about running on a Teams call. I was like, I didn't know what to say to them. Like, oh, I've got the doctors. That's what I was like. Oh, why don't you run to the doctors? Come on. I didn't talk about it that much. No, I do talk about it a lot, but I didn't talk about it that much. So you need to tell me to run to the doctors on a Teams call. But nah, it's good to get back into it, and it's been good getting we catch up on the podcast. Actually,
it has. Long overdue. We will try and get these more regular. We have been trying to do base them around races and stuff like that, but it might just be we just put one out every couple of weeks and just update on our training and what we've been up to.
Obviously, I think we do need to give a wee shout out to one of our co-hosts though for his incredible performance at Loch Ness. Was it last weekend? 19 laps. Am I right?
19 laps.
19 laps.
82.81 miles. So he never got his 83 miles.
Mr. Mike Houston, for anybody that's unaware. He was up at Loch Ness. And then we've obviously got our other two co-hosts doing Glasgow to Edinburgh in, is that 4 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be now 4 weeks. So I think obviously Jimmy's a bit busy than how we work, so that's why he's not on the call. And AB is doing his hair in the mirror, I think, still from the weekend. So he's not been able to make it, unfortunately.
The episode's not about AB, so AB doesn't come on.
AB's never done any runs recently, so he's got nothing to talk about. We're joking, big man, we're joking.
Listen. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. There'll be two totally different styles of attacking the race, I think, between those two.
It's going to be a good one. I hope they get good weather for it. Obviously, it's been a bit of a shambles last year, hasn't it? So I'm hoping that it's nothing that really impacts them too much, and they can at least, it's hard to say enjoy a 93-kilometre race, but at least put a good shift in, and hope the weather's good for them.
Oh, a wee tailwind and nice and cool for them. Last year, for those that don't know, it was torrential. I think the canal was almost busting its banks at points. It was grim. There's a lot of DNFs that day, I'm sure.
There was, definitely was, and I think Dale Pennycook, one of my mates, him and AB have been doing a couple of training runs together. I think that actually Jimmy, AB and Dale done one, they've done the 7 Hills Edinburgh together. Dale's an ex-Marine, and Dale had the DNF, so he's hard as nails, you know what I mean, and he still had to pull out, so it shows you the conditions last year and how kind of they would have been impacting everybody. But nah, I think there's a lot coming up across all the kind of different sides of the community, ultras, maras, halves. So it's hopefully we'll have something to make a bit of content over the next few months in the lead up to Christmas and stuff like that.
Yep. Well, I think that'll. What would you remembered something?
No, I was just going to say your t-shirt's looking nice. You
think so? My running t-shirt.
It's the runner's t-shirt, aye. I can we're not putting this out on video, but if we're showing them off. You can get them on the run website if anybody's after one. Then it'll rush though. Because he'll know.
That's what I was going to say.
Right. It's been lovely catching up with you, mate. Are you going to do a wee outro for us?
I was going to say cheerio. I've got nothing prepared.
Fine. It's cool. This was meant to be a nice relaxed chat. Anyway, obviously you've got Emily's Run Club, by the way, on Sundays, and Press Play are back doing Sunday long runs. If anybody is looking for one, you'll find their pages on Instagram, and Press Play Run Club Facebook page is a good source for all the information for their stuff. So go and give the guys a check out. Bob, it's been a pleasure as always.
Yep, pleasure's all yours.
Cheers, my man.
Catch you later.
See you in a bit.
Bye.